thank you everybody for coming to this very exciting day. Welcome to campus. My name is Joe Hughes. I'm the new Director of Athletic Marketing here at the College of Idaho, and what an exciting time this is at our school, and thank you for joining us to help celebrate this. I was thinking about what this kind of feels like after a many decade absence of having football. This feels like the very first play that the college has called. We scored a touchdown and a two-point conversion. So please help me welcome the president of the College of Idaho, Dr. Marv Henberg.
Thank you very much, Joe, and I'm delighted to see this turnout for this occasion. We are excited about this, and I want everyone here to right now put down on their calendars August 30th, 2014, which will be the inaugural game in Sinplot Stadium against Eastern Oregon. So that's where we're headed, and we're going to have a competitive team by that time. One of the exciting, indeed I think the most exciting decision of 2012, which featured some real pluses for the college. We had a Truman Scholar named, and the college's 7th Rhodes Scholar in its history. So 2012 was a banner year, but in that year the trustees voted overwhelmingly to reestablish the football program. And we have members of the board here, Judge Candy Dale, who's our chair, Scott Gibson, Doug Brigham, Tricia Bauer, and Ron Bittner here. And I just want to acknowledge them and thank them for the decision that made this day possible. When I laid out criteria for a coach selection earlier, I said that there were 4 things that were all equally important, but you have to list them in some kind of order, so I listed them in the following order. We needed a coach, a head coach who was going to recruit for academic ability, because that's what we're all about at the College of Idaho. Second, we needed a coach who was going to recruit for character, good character. Third, we needed a coach who was going to recruit for the kind of student who would enter into the life of the whole college, not just the football program. And fourth, we needed a coach who would establish a winning program. And I said, and I say again, that I will have patience on the latter of those 4 criteria, but not patience on the other 3, because that's what we need to do to be successful. I don't have to worry about that because of the character of the person that we are introducing today, that we have hired as our head coach. Michael Moroski has character in abundance. He was the overwhelming choice of the faculty members who participated in the process, and we ran the candidates through the gauntlet of the faculty, because we have to have that understanding of the academics, and he was the overwhelming support of that group, as well as, of course, the athletic director and me. He, during his 17 years as offensive coordinator for UC Davis, he took them to the postseason 8 times. Had one year that was particularly spectacular, but it was only spectacular relative to a number of other great years at the University of California at Davis. In 2001, his offense averaged 41 points and 511 yards. And for that, he was named the National Assistant Coach of the Year for that. He was a quarterback at UC Davis, and after that, drafted by the Atlanta Falcons and went on to an NFL career, 8 years in the NFL, 6 with the Falcons, 1 with the Houston Oilers, and 1 with the 49ers. I want to ask Michael to come up in just a second, but I want to say something about that 49ers stint because it does have a tie to the College of Idaho. When he was at San Francisco, he got to know our famous alumnus from football, R.C. Owens, who was an administrator with that team at that time. And he had the privilege of throwing a touchdown pass to Hall of Fame receiver Jerry Rice. That ain't half bad. I can tell you that the other coaches in the Frontier Conference and in the Northwest Conference, who are our main competitors for the kind of athlete we want, don't have coaches who did that. So, Mike, come up, please. And we, of course, want all the photo ops to be in a C of I jacket, so we'll put this on. So we'll let Mike have a few words, then we'll go to a Q&A, and for that I will invite Athletic Director Marty Hawley up also. So, Mike, congratulations.
Thank you, President. Well, it's absolutely awesome to be back and here as the head football coach at the College of Idaho. And I do want to thank personally President Henberg, and I particularly enjoyed my time with him. It's not often when you interview for a job or do anything that you have an hour or more with the president of the college, and he laid out the vision, the criteria for the football coach, for the program, where he sees it going, and I was thrilled, really enjoyed the time, enjoyed his professionalism, his rigor in questioning me, and we hit it off to a large degree. I was very impressed. I was happy to tell my wife Kathy, who's here with us, how impressed I was with Dr. Henberg. So I really thank you and your wife, and it's exciting for us to be here. I did want to introduce my wife, Kathy. She's an awesome person. She's been great, a great wife, great football wife, coach's wife. Some of you will appreciate that. Great mom to our 4 kids, who are also very proud and will participate in this somehow as they watch the live stream later. I did also want to thank the search committee and the time that we had together. I enjoyed getting to know them and the people in general that I've met already at College of Idaho, and the alums and the former football players and coaches who I know have to be absolutely pumped about football returning. I really have enjoyed meeting everybody, and a place can be defined, I believe, by the quality of people that are around. So already I'm very excited, and that even extends to the staff, some of the students, the faculty, of course, and it's been absolutely great. I do want to say, too, that I'm appreciative to Marty Hawley, and he kind of tracked me down, believe it or not, and that's maybe a story in itself, but he called me the day after Thanksgiving and let me know that a young gentleman by the name of Chris Peterson, the coach of Boise State, let him know about me, and our careers had overlapped a little bit at UC Davis. Chris's last year at UC Davis as an All-American quarterback was my last year with the San Francisco 49ers, which turned out to be my last year in professional football. And so we worked out together, and then we ended up coaching together for a short time at UC Davis. And then I've been pleased to follow his career. We're very proud of him, all UC Davis alumni, and what he's accomplished here. And should say the people that obviously there's been a lot of great coaches at the college level in Idaho, both at the University of Idaho and Idaho State. But our connection at UC Davis had been more with Boise State, starting with Dirk Cutter and his legendary family and all. And then he brought Dan Hawkins, who's a UC Davis guy, to Boise. And then, of course, Dan was able to lure Chris Peterson to Boise, and I honestly think that Chris Peterson is the gold standard. Some may say that it's Nick Saban or some of the other great coaches, but I honestly believe that it's Chris Peterson is the gold standard of coaches in college football. And so So I'm pleased to know the guy, for one, to maybe have part of his philosophy, since our roots are much the same at UC Davis, and the way we want to treat people, treat players, treat the game, treat the college environment, which we're pleased to and thrilled to be a part of. I honestly feel like I have the greatest job in the world to be able to work with young student athletes as well as the staff at a college like this. So I could not be more excited about the future, both the near future and when we start playing and all those sorts of things. So again, let me give another brief shout out to the state of Idaho and the football culture here in Idaho. It's clearly a very rich area, and I plan to get to know the coaches. I know there's many great high school coaches. Look forward to getting to know them and them helping me locate the best of the high school football players in the area. I think that'll be the key for the College of Idaho. I'm also excited about being at an academic institution. I think that's been my whole preparation for this job. Kathy and I have laughed and enjoyed reminiscing about our time at UC Davis, which is a fine academic institution, very good athletics with deep roots in the Central Valley in California and the agriculture industry and all that. And I feel like the similarities are very interesting here at the College of Idaho with the agriculture area and the agriculture roots, the high academics, and we couldn't be more excited. I feel like my whole career has been preparation for this day. I look forward to being a head football coach and leading the College of Idaho football team into the Frontier Conference, and much success. So with that, I'll open it up to questions. Thank you very much. This is Marty Hawley, and I'm not sure I finished that story, but Marty said he had a number of resumes, and mine not included, but he called Coach Peterson and admitted that he's a great basketball coach, as many of you know, and wasn't sure how much he knew about football. So being a smart guy and super personable, great sense of humor, and everything, he wanted to call somebody that he trusted. And so he called Chris Peterson, and Chris Peterson gave him my name. So that's the end of that story. And again, I want to thank Marty as well, and have really enjoyed getting to know him so far and know more about the College of Idaho.
Questions, s'il vous plaît. Did you have any idea that there would be this much excitement about football and this kind of reaction? Because a lot of people are clearly excited.
I think that when I got here and I was in this room with the faculty, that Marty had let me know that the announcement about football coming back was a well-attended news conference as well. So I had some idea. I also know how exciting and how important football could be to contributing to the mission of an elite academic institution like the College of Idaho. So in some ways not surprising, but I will say this, that it's very refreshing to know there's great support, and because a lot of support is needed, and I think people that are around college athletics know that it takes a lot of people. It's not just one person, but it's the administration, the faculty, students, staff, and everything. So this is very exciting and humbling, and I think it marks a great beginning for what is ahead.
Have you already started recruiting?
To some degree, yes. I've recruited all over California my whole career, so I have lots of contacts in California, but I've gotten some calls from coaches in Idaho, and one who I knew who coaches at Eagle High School, and who we coached together, another UC Davis guy that Chris Peterson helped find a job here in Idaho. But there's a lot ahead. So not much of a beginning, but it'll come soon enough. Yes.
Again, welcome. We're glad to have you here and your wife here. But can you tell us what your process will be with some of your assistant coaching staff and what you might go through there to put a ring team together?
Well, I think my very first, I can tell you about the first two things I'm going to do. The first thing is I need to hire somebody that I know, trust, and I'm hopeful that can occur sooner than later. Let's put it that way. But I was at UC Davis long enough to coach student athletes and their sons, believe it or not, even though I feel young and revitalized, so I didn't want to give too much away there. But recently at UC Davis, I've been pleased to hire some of the young men that I've coached. And so I think there's one in particular and probably two that I would hope that it works out where they would come and join me. Secondly, I need to find somebody from Idaho, and I need to find somebody perhaps with connections here to the college or maybe Boise State. So I'll look forward to conferring and finding somebody who knows the local landscape and local coaches and programs and that sort of. I just think that's important for the region. I think the college is going to be very influential and have a very positive dynamic impact on the whole region. So I'm looking forward to having somebody on the staff who will be able to help me with all of that aspect too.
Just curious about the timeline. You said that Marty contacted you the day after Thanksgiving. Just looking for your initial reaction about coming up and leading a program that's really building from the ground up. And then when did you decide that this was the right place to be?
Well, we were immediately excited. We were just at a family event in Sonoma County with Kathy's family, actually, and got a message from Marty, so called right back, and it was immediately exciting. Obviously, things were transitioning at UC Davis, but sometimes when you get to a point in your career, you're looking for something special. I think my resume would show that I'm not the kind of coach or person to bounce around and go here, there, or anywhere, and that is part of the profession. That's one legitimate way to do things, but that's not what I chose. I like the relational approach, getting to know people, being at a place for a good while. So those two things together, it's not that I never looked at another school or anything like that, but you hope that something good will come your way. And so when Marty called, we talked, and we were going to talk again, and it moved pretty slowly. I think we talked once a week for those first couple weeks, but then there was a phone interview, so I got to know, but I was online and learning and trying to get to know as much as I could, and it seemed to be a great fit. Talked to a few people in Idaho, talked to Coach Peterson, talked to one of Marty's old basketball colleagues, Bob Williams, who won a Division II national championship at UC Davis, I believe the same year that you won the basketball NAIA national title. Bob is now the head basketball coach at University of California, Santa Barbara. And so we've known each other, so we talked, and he gave me some stories about Marty, but lots of good stuff about Marty, and he thought it was that he's a straight shooter, and I could trust that, and he was very excited. Other people with Idaho connections had really said some positive things as well. But it wasn't really until I got up here that I was pretty convinced. I think Kathy could attest to it. I thought, I think it's a great place. I think it would be a great opportunity, and so we're very excited. Pretty early on, so it went pretty quick.
It seems like situation. Maybe talk about the excitement and challenges of coming into a football program that hasn't had a football team for quite a few decades now.
Right. It's fun to see some of the former coaches and players here. I think that shows that they got to be thrilled, and so that's the exciting part. I think that President Henberg has studied the issue, as has faculty and trustee groups and Marty to see what is the impact of a football program. You got a bunch of guys on the campus, which obviously is a big, big plus. But if you read the newspaper about football players and that sort of thing, and any athletes, there's baggage that comes along all too often. So I think they had to navigate through that dynamic. My particular history is that football's awesome. It's a great game. I've had the privilege of coaching absolutely great guys who are in the California legislature. They're coaching, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're teachers, they're coaches, businessmen. Again, that's what makes the job so exciting. So all that on the positive side, the greatness of the game, the greatness of the energy that there'll be on that first Saturday in late August in a year and a half or so, that's great. And that will move us and energize us through the difficult parts. But I tend to not look at the difficulty, but the excitement, adventure, all those things, getting to know people. I'm looking forward to getting to know the college more and more, because one of the points that's particularly important of all the four things that Dr. Henberg mentioned is I believe that football players have to be more than just football players. They need to participate and be part of the whole of the college and the whole college culture, because, and again, maybe not as often as it used to be or should be, but there was a day when the best players potentially became coaches, and they became principals, and they became politicians, perhaps, and I don't mean that as a negative thing on coaches necessarily or players, but the big thing is the impact that I believe that young men should aspire to in the society at large. So there is a lot to do, and I think that I'm really looking forward to that. It's a people business. Obviously, there's some physical things that need to occur, financial things that need to occur, but those are minute compared to the excitement of meeting people, bringing top flight student athletes in here, and again, my experience with college football players has been super positive. I wish they could all be here and share in this, because it's been a great, great run for me, and I look forward to continuing that here.
If I could add something to that, I've never had this happening in hiring. Incredible amount of calls and emails and texts. Look at this guy, hire this guy. You know, the pressure trying to get us to look at candidates, and that certainly happened somewhat with Mike. But this would impress me. In the last 2 days, I've got more comments about him after he had secured the job. It's almost backwards, saying, you don't know how lucky you are. He did this for me when I played for him. He did this for me when I was a young coach. A person from Meridian who went to high school with my wife, who knows Mike. After the fact, saying, you have hired, you have a home run. And the thing that I think that impressed Marv and myself, but certainly me, was here's a guy who has all these accomplishments, who stands for everything that we want and the trustees want, and played in the NFL, and he is so humble, so he makes you feel that I want to talk to him. We went to dinner last night when I picked him up, and I want to talk about him throwing a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. and that's not very important to Mike and to Kathy. They want to look forward to what we're going to accomplish. And, I look at some football players and coaches, and this is an emotional day for all of us, because we're going to do this thing right. And we have a home run with this guy.
Thanks, Marty. And then for those of you that are interested in the touchdown pass to Jerry Rice, What people around football will often ask me is, well, you played 2 games with a guy. Why did you only throw him 1 touchdown pass? Anyway, any other questions?
Mike, tell us about your family and your hobbies.
Well, my life revolves around football. My hobbies are no, just kidding. No, really, our life largely revolves around our kids and family, and that Davis is a very family-oriented community. So we're looking forward to relocating. They all grew up. 3 of them went to UC Davis. My 3 sons went to Davis. My daughter was the black sheep and went to Sac City, and then got a volleyball scholarship to Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. So she's the real athlete of the kids. But again, Kathy's a great mom. The kids are they're awesome and super supportive. One is doing his orthopedic residency in Orange County. One is an engineer in Portland. Emmy, our daughter, is a nursing student in Tennessee. And our 3rd son, Ben, is an aspiring writer and actor in Studio City down in Southern California. So, and he's the smartest one of them all. Probably a little bit like Joe Golden, just. But. But I'm an outdoors guy and like all sports, and my daughter was volleyball, my sons were cross country and track guys. Kathy was a collegiate gymnast, so we enjoy going to lots of events and being part of a whole culture of at the college level. So that's a big part of what we do. Health, fitness, people, that kind of thing.
Last week, actually, I didn't talk to her, but she asked Mike on the phone. She says, "Does the wind blow much?" And I said, "Never." And then last night she said, "I don't know if you noticed, but it was cold last week." And she said, "Mike, it's 1 degree, and Mike, it's 3 degrees." And I don't know if she believes me that it's unusual, but I'm hoping for your support telling her. Yes, it's usually colder.
All right, if we don't have any more questions, one more welcome to Coach Moroski. A big thank you to everybody for showing up and helping us celebrate this fantastic day here at the College of Idaho.